Call the meeting to order. I recognize Mr. Kraus for the purpose of leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Feston.
Here.
Bullock.
Here.
Virgo.
Here.
Chapman. Clay.
Here.
Flanahan.
Here.
Camiso. Here. Kraus.
Here.
Cunningham. Dawson. Malowitz.
Here.
Drake. Ethier.
Here.
Feeney.
Here.
Fine.
Here.
Grimm.
Here.
Higgins.
Yes.
Hogan.
Here.
A-Joyce.
Here.
Arjoyce.
Here.
Hoppus. Yes. Lockhart. Mackey.
Here.
Morello.
Here.
Mayo.
Here.
McKnight. Yes, here. McLean Lane. Here. Mendon.
Yes.
Miller.
Here.
O'Brien.
Here.
Reinhardt.
Here.
Signoracci.
Here.
Simpson.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Stevens.
Here.
Touche.
Here.
Cunning. Ward.
Here.
Moynihan.
I believe Mr. Drake is here as well. I'd like to note there are additional sponsors with the clerk. I'd like to recognize Mr. Camiso, please.
Yes, I would like to make a motion to suspend the rules and move to make local law C the first item on the agenda.
We have a second by Mr. Clay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Local law C.
Local law number C for 2016, a local law of the County of Albany, New York, prohibiting the sale of cigarettes, tobacco products, liquid nicotine, or electronic cigarettes to minors and young adults.
Great.
Like to speak, please?
Yes, sir.
I came here tonight thinking about something important. I hate smoking. I don't smoke. I never smoked. My family doesn't smoke. My kids don't smoke, thank God. I abhor it. But the resolution proposed tonight is not about banning smoking. It's not about banning the manufacture of cigarettes. It's not about eradicating smoking. The resolution tonight seeks to eliminate the sale of cigarettes to persons aged 18 to 20 in the county of Albany. Those persons, in a short drive, can purchase cigarettes in all the neighboring counties to Albany County. I don't believe that it is Albany County's role to ban the sale of cigarettes between the ages of 18 and 20. I do believe, though, that the net effect of the law will increase compliance costs, will burden the ever overburdened small business owners operating in the upstate New York economic climate. I believe that one of the statistics put forth by those sponsoring the resolution indicated that only 2% of all cigarette purchasers are between the ages of 18 and 21. And I, for one, do not believe in removing liberties from such a small segment of the population while the remainder of the population goes ahead and purchases cigarettes here. But the other thing I wanted to be honest about was my fears. When I think about my kids, and I have 2 teenage children, Shaker Junior High School, okay? I think about the real problems that face Albany County residents that are of a magnitude beyond which this body has been unwilling to tackle. And I urge my fellow lawmakers to consider this. What scares me is illegal drug use. The narcotics that on a weekly or even daily basis pervade our schools. All walks of life, all school districts, not one and not the other, all of them. Kids overdosing, kids dying, heroin, prescription drugs out of parental medicine cabinets. When we talk about what we can do to protect our youth, I want to eliminate youth smoking. Absolutely. But what am I scared of? I'm scared of my kids dying from an exposure to a narcotic that can kill them instantly because it's available. And guess what? You can't buy narcotics at any age in Albany County or any other county. You can't buy beer until you're 21, but guess what? High school students are drinking beer all over the land. We don't want to admit it, but I'm going to stand up and admit it. I know they do. So, what I urge this body to do is to consider seriously the problem of youth smoking, but consider an effective way to help wipe it out. Consider taking the funds that Albany County is willing to give up in sales tax revenue and to spend on compliance for this measure, and use them on programs for prevention. This is for youth. Prevention, education, and cessation, which are far more effective than restricting the sale to 18 to 20-year-olds. Because those 18 to 20-year-olds can get those cigarettes somewhere else. They can set up little shops in the back of their car and sell them to minors if they'd like to. There's a lot of ways they can get cigarettes, but if they are educated and they understand the effects, those students can choose not to participate. Let's take the time and money that we spend on laws governing personal decisions for adults. Adults like Judge Massey, whom we honored tonight for his service to this country, and say, Judge Massey, you can't buy a cigarette because you're 20 years old. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about my kids and their exposure to all those other negative effects and influences. Let's take our resources and talk about prevention and education. Let's tackle the hard problems that nobody wants to talk about, such as narcotics abuse among our youth. Let's table this and let's find a better way. And I'll support that 100%. Thank you.
Mr. Higgins?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll be very brief in my comments. First, I'd like to thank all the advocates who've been coming out month after month to our meetings, to our public hearings, to speak on this issue. In support of it, I'd also like to thank our former colleague, Mr. Nichols, who first introduced this bill, I believe, last year. Unfortunately, he wasn't here to see it through to enactment and passage, but nonetheless, he's here strongly advocating like he did when he was a member for the passage, and so with that, I'd like to thank him. You know, this morning I was at my doctor, getting a checkup, and they asked me a routine question: do you smoke? Do you not smoke? And I said to the doctor, actually, I said, no, I quit, and I don't smoke anymore. And she said, you know, that's really great, good for you. It's terrible. And I said to her, I said, yeah, we're actually going to be voting on this tonight in the legislature, raising the age. And the doctor said, oh, that's a great idea. I said, I know. I think personally, I support it. I think it's great. She said, I can never figure this out. She said, you know, my husband, she said, is from England. And she said, because I made a comment, I said, in Europe, everybody smokes. And so recently, she goes, yeah, but you have to understand. They tax the heck out of the product itself, and they all have nationalized health care. So while everybody recognizes that they could potentially, if they're sick, the taxes they pay on the product go to basically pay for the treatment they'll receive later when they get lung cancer. That's not the case in this country, where we don't have universal health care. And I can only imagine how many hundreds of millions of dollars we spend in this nation on health care costs for those people in the Medicaid program who have lung cancer and who need treatment but can't afford it. That is nonetheless covered through Medicaid. And that's the cost that is put on the shoulders and the backs of every taxpayer in this county, state, and this country. And I think that's a strong argument if we want to talk about the financials of the proposal. Less people smoking or starting to smoke equals less people down the road who will get cancer, who potentially can't pay for it, that others in this country with the Medicaid program have to pay for it. So that's my first point. You know, my second point is I think this is an issue, and one of the speakers touched on tonight, that affects pretty much anybody in this room. I'm sure we all have a relative who's had one type of cancer in one form or another. My mother has bladder cancer. She's still alive. My aunt 2 years ago died from stage 4 lung cancer, and she was only 62 years old. And she smoked when she was younger. And I have no doubt in my mind that smoking was a contributing factor to her death, which in my opinion was way too early. And that's a sad fact that we have to face. People buy cigarettes. Cigarettes are not healthy. They become addicted. They contribute to lung cancer, which eventually kills people. And it's a stark reality, and I agree with Mr. Nichols. I think for too long the industry has been lying about tobacco and its effects on the health of humans. And for many, many years we bought it in this country. And tonight I have an opportunity to do my small part to say no more here in this county. So I'll be voting yes. I'd like to thank the sponsor, Mr. Miller. It's a courageous local law to put in for his first bill. So to you, Mr. Miller, good luck. I give you a lot of credit. It's a tough subject to attack on voting yes.
Thank you. Ms. Cunningham.
Mr. Chairman, I'm a new member of the legislature, and what folks probably don't know about me is I have 3 teenagers. I'm also a member of the Bethlehem Central Board of Education. I think there are many problems facing our youth. Drug use is obviously a huge issue that's getting a lot of news attention. But let's keep our eye on the ball here. Tonight we're here to evaluate and vote on an initiative that will protect the public health of our teenagers. And the reason is, and I have 3 teenagers, and if they were here, they would give you chapter and verse about how easy it is to get a pack of cigarettes if you're 16 years old, if you're 14 years old, if you're 12 years old, because an 18-year-old is very happy to go into Stewart's or another store and purchase a pack of cigarettes for a younger classmate. Tobacco use, even with significant resources in public health education. I'm going to the DARE graduation for 5th graders next week, and my youngest child, elementary school. All of those programs are great public health education initiatives. We still have teenagers that are smoking and getting addicted. If we can do anything to mitigate the numbers, to lessen the numbers of teenagers getting addicted to tobacco, we will have made a mark, a public health improvement that will affect a generation. We probably heard the same arguments when the drinking age went up from 18 to 21. And I will tell you, it is much harder for a teenager in high school to obtain alcohol than it was when I went to high school or when you went to high school. Much harder. And that's because the drinking age is 21. 21-year-olds certainly buy it for their 19-year-old, 18-year-old peers, but they're not apt to buy it for a 15-year-old or a 14-year-old. Still happens, it's just not as readily available. So I would ask folks to consider this from the perspective of somebody who's in the schools pretty much every day, talking to teenagers every day. We just had junior prom in Bethlehem a couple of nights ago, and I will tell you there are kids that are still using tobacco and getting addicted. And on a final note, there is no data that is remotely dubious on this issue. There are volumes of data that have been completed by my alma mater, the Johns Hopkins School of Public Health, as well as every school of public health in the nation. It is abundantly clear tobacco kills. It's a really easy equation. We have something simple today that we can do that's a small thing, but you know what? Let's be leaders, because tomorrow we're going to have our neighboring county legislatures evaluating the same bill. Let's take a stand, and maybe we will be the beginning of something in New York State that is definitely coming. The public health advocates, as you can see from the folks who turned out, the emails we got, they are activated, they are motivated, and we're going to start seeing this type of reduction in the age, or increase in the age to 21, happening all across the country. Let's be leaders in Albany County. Let's be leaders in New York State. Vote yes.
Thank you. Mr. Miller.
I'd like to indicate the reasons why I'm supporting this bill. There was a lot of organizations that appeared before the legislature at the public hearing and tonight again, and there was a lot of letters that were written by both the organizations and by county residents in favor of this law. Also, it was a top priority, and the report that was requested by this legislature back in 2014, a report was prepared by the Albany County Health Board that should be one of the top priorities is to go tobacco 21, raise the age. Also, there's some information in that report that kind of dispels anything about the fact that this is also an issue of poverty, because in that report it indicates that people under $25,000 a year of income, they have a rate of 24% of their smoking. Okay, and that's almost double what their statewide rate is. Not quite, but when you take that and you figure out that they're probably smoking a pack a day, it's probably average. And if you're gonna get cheap cigarettes, it's $8 a pack from what I understand. I don't have to buy them, but I've checked on that. Can go up to over $10 a pack. When you figure that out on an annual basis, if you're smoking a pack a day, it's costing them $3,000 a year, which is almost 12% of their income. If they're making $25,000, which obviously that's an average, so a lot of them are making less of that, and that drives that percentage up. Also, as far as businesses, one of the largest sales tax generators in Albany County, Crossgates Mall, several years back banned all smoking on their property, inside and outside. And one of the local pharmacies, CVS, stopped selling cigarettes voluntarily. So this is not necessarily an anti-business law. The businesses have seen that reducing smoking has a benefit on their bottom line. Otherwise, they certainly wouldn't have done it. And also, one other thing, there's a national pharmacy who has, for their employees, they do an annual assessment of their employees, a health assessment. And one of the criteria that they use is the smoker versus non-smoker. There's several other things, but the bottom line is if somebody's a smoker and they work for this pharmacy, it's going to cost them $600 more a year for their health insurance. So there is definitely a cost involved with it. The county pays 25% of the Medicaid for all of our residents in the county. And we also pay health insurance for our employees, and a good deal of the employers in Albany County also pay health insurance for their employees. So there's an economic benefit of reducing the number of smokers, that people become addicted to it. And we've got statistics, I mean, going back to the 1960s, there were warnings put on cigarette packs. So obviously, there's a history here of, the tobacco is bad for you. And I just, like to conclude by thanking all the people who came out to support this bill. And I hope I can count on the legislators to vote in favor of this bill and pass it.
Thank you. Mr. Ethier.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, you should be commended for what you've done. And I guess I come from an era when smoking was a routine thing. I mean, I started at 14, and I rolled up to the time I was 22. And by the time I got to 22, unfortunately for me, they told me all they ever do was stump my growth. There was no health education like we have today. At 22, I was at 2 packs a day. And I was still trying to be an athlete, playing ball, and I couldn't breathe. So I decided on my own to stop smoking right then. And it wasn't easy. It's not easy to experience 50 years later. It's not easy. But I did it. And my point is, it's something you got to do yourself. And that's what these kids are going to do, along with some education. And I harped on my kids, who are 4 adults now. Now, one of my kids smoked all along that period. They still don't today. And I think it was listening to my story of how I could have been in the pros if I was a little bit taller. But that, along with the education, where the cancer come out later on, and all that stuff worked. And my children have smoke sensitive. And I think education is more important than it starts with the parents, and the kids got to want to do it. Any kid that looks at TV today and sees that beautiful woman take her hair off and stick something in her throat, then pump something out of her stomach, if that ain't going to stop you from smoking, all these silly laws that make us feel good isn't going to do it either. You got to start education, but it begins in the home and it begins with the parents. I succeeded in doing it. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. I can break out probably today. But I stopped when I couldn't breathe. That was even before we knew about that stuff. So, Paul, you should be commended. Anybody votes for it. I'm not trying to sway anybody. Do what you want. But I don't think I've been sent down here to put laws on 18-year-old kids They can go over there and get shot and drive a car over Whistler County, get killed and go buy a pack of cigarettes. There's pros and cons all over the place. But I believe it's strictly education. And I'll be voting against it.
Ms. McQueen-Lane?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have very much so struggled with this decision all the way up until, in fact, the past half hour or so. But I've decided to support it. And the reason I'm going to support it, I am greatly concerned. My number one issue, as you well know, is the poverty issue in our county. And I was a little concerned when I saw that Needham study being used, because when there is a community of 28,000 people where there are almost no minority members and a 1.4% poverty rate and a $130,000 median income, I struggle a little bit to say that we're going to have the same results. But I've listened, and one of the things I listened to and I saw is that minority members of this body support this bill. And that to me indicates that, you know, I'm pretty sure that they know more so what's best for their community than I do. And additionally, you know, I've looked at the CDC, all of the studies on it. You know, this definitely is a related issue to poverty. I do think we are triaging a little bit of what are the symptoms of poverty, but in the absence of our attacking that issue, obviously, what is the downside to this? What is the downside? I'm not sure that I can say that the downside is more important than what is this issue. So I have struggled with this, and but I've made my decision, and I will be supporting tobacco control.
Mr. Demowitz?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I rise in support of the local law and compliment my colleague for introducing it and Tim for introducing it the last time around. But you know, when Gil quit smoking 50 years ago, it was a lot easier than today. That's pointed out. The nicotine levels are so high today in these cigarettes that they make it virtually impossible without cessation classes and some kind of assistant to quit. And this is all done by design by the tobacco companies. And we're, thank God for tobacco settlement lawsuit, that we have these programs together in Albany County because of the tobacco companies paying for it, for cessation classes and education. So I think this is great. But just, does anyone remember Joe Camel? Remember Joe Camel? What was he geared for? You know, I mean, flavored cigarettes, flavored tobacco products. What was that all geared towards? You know? So, the man from the convenience store. I'm in a convenience store all over the state. The kids are at a disadvantage because as soon as you walk in, what's behind all the checkout stands? A whole wall of tobacco products. From Skoal to anything, you know, the big money tobacco companies paying for their prime locations with their advertising right behind there. You know, it puts these kids at a disadvantage. So, I think this is a good start. The sheriff is coming out, we'll be voting on some youth programs in the future as the meeting goes on to help the programs that we're going to help with kids and diverting them from jail and programs. And heroin is a problem in Albany County. It's a problem in Rensselaer County. It's a problem in the state. And it's something that has to be addressed either at the state level and the local level and the federal level. Something's got to be done about that. And I think that it's imperative that we all work together on that. But, you know, and Tim was right. When we first came forward and banned smoking in bars and restaurants, it was unbelievable. We heard from everyone. Everyone. I'd just like to point out that we did a press conference announcing that, and the county executive, Dan McQuaid, was standing right next to me. So, Tim, Danny, I was in the forefront battling these problems, and still stands with us, and we continue to move forward. So, and we heard the same thing, you know, the neighboring counties, Albany County is a leader When Albany County passes something, other counties follow. We've done it on numerous legislations that we've passed. And then the rest of the counties, we pick it up and they run with it. And this is how, unfortunately, things are being passed now at the state level. They'll let the local counties take the brunt of the hit so they don't have to. And that's fine. I mean, that's just the way it is. We're more closer to the voters. I don't know, there's some affinity we are. But I just want to compliment Paul for bringing it forward, moving forward with it. Thank you for adding me as a sponsor. And I hope we pass this overwhelmingly tonight. And thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Bennett.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The one argument that I'm going to bring to the party is one that Mr. Ether kind of talked about, and that is the age of 18. Now, my background is I am not a smoker. I have never been a smoker. I think that it is the scourge of our society, that smoking should be eliminated at the federal level. But that's not likely to happen anytime soon. What we have is a group of individuals who have, in this state, and in many states, reached the age of majority at the age of 18. Whether that's a good idea or a bad idea, people much smarter than I historically have said 18 is the right age. Now, we all know 18-year-olds who we wouldn't trust with making a decision for themselves, let alone anyone else. But that's the law. Now at 18, we have the story. They can go and they can fight in our war and they can die. That's a decision that they're willing to make. But they can do other things. They can get married at 18. They can enter into long-term contracts. They can go to prison as an adult based upon the decision that they might make. All of these decisions have a significant impact on themselves as well as others, their family, and people that they may come in contact with. But the long and short of it is, they have been given that right by the state of New York. And I don't believe that the County of Albany should say, I don't care what the state of New York says. We don't think that you have the capacity to make the right decision. And that's really what we're talking about, is the capacity to make the right decision for themselves. Now, we talk a little bit about the studies that have done. I find it fascinating that they look at what would happen if you raise the age to 19. It has virtually no impact on the accessibility of cigarettes to younger kids. Well, I certainly hope, while there might be some 19-year-olds in high school, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of 20-year-olds. And if it has no impact, or virtually no impact, to eliminate it at age 19, it really doesn't really solve what we're trying to get to, and that is to keep it up in the schools. I agree with my colleague, Mr. Drake, says, what we really need here is we need education. We need to point out time and time and time again how damaging smoking is. Nothing that we're going to do by raising that age to 21 will have a significant impact. All it will do is tell the 18-year-old, we don't think you can handle it. Okay? You can go out and fight for our country, you can go out and die for your country, and I can go through all the other emotional arguments. But what we really say is that we really don't believe you have the capacity to make life-changing decisions at your age. And if we really believe that, then we should be looking at other things. Maybe we should be looking at driving. Largest group of, one of the largest groups for accidents and fatalities are 18 to 21-year-olds. Maybe Albany County should be looking at changing the age when a driver can get a driver's license. Believe me, I appreciate the fact that we have well-meaning people in this legislature. Mr. Miller, I salute your efforts on this. I know what you're trying to do. I applaud your efforts. Smoking is terrible. But I don't believe that this local law is going to have any significant impact other than to take away the rights that have been promised to 18-year-olds in the state of New York. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I rise tonight as a representative of the Albany County Health Board. And we have made a decision that we should pass the T21 law. We've studied this thing for a couple of years, and we have come to the conclusion that is the right thing to do. That's the right thing to do, not only for Albany County, for every county in New York State. I'm a West Virginia girl. My father died with black lungs. If the kids could have a chance to see what the lungs look like when they're immersed in nothing but cigarette smoke, that would be helpful. I saw this kind of place when I was out in Kansas City, and I think it's called the Union Station out there. You can walk through a human body. These kids need something like here in Albany to see what kind of damage they do to your lungs when you continuously smoke cigarettes. By the way, you can buy them in my neighborhood, 2 for $1, and they do call them Lucy's. I think a man named Mr. Eric Gardner was murdered because the police was trying to get him to stop selling Lucy's on the street. But yet still, it's a bad thing, that cigarette smoking. And it does impact our taxes. It impacts the medical condition of our neighborhood. And it impacts the whole family. Albany Housing Authority, the largest landlord in Albany City, Albany County. They just stopped everybody from smoking who reside in public housing. You'll get evicted if you smoke a cigarette on the grounds of Housing Authority in Albany County. So it's a serious thing, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. We have to do so much in educating our people about the harm use of cigarette smoking and tobacco to your body. Our president just passed the e-cigarette regulation this year. He finally caught up with us. We did that years ago. Mr. Commissioner reminded me. We were ahead of that with Barack Obama. But we keep working at this. We're going to get it right one day, folks. But this is a start. So I urge each one of us tonight to vote yes for this local law C, and let's get it started here in Albany County. Albany County does know how to take the lead, and we're going to do it right here on this floor tonight. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Roll call, please.
Beston,
In favor?
Bullock,
Yes.
Bergdorf,
I'd like to rise to explain my vote.
Yes.
I'm going to vote no, but I just need to tell you why. No one in my family smokes. My wife doesn't smoke. She gave it up when our 38-year-old daughter was 2 and we were coming home in a car, 10 below zero, and she was smoking Winston's, and the baby started coughing and said, "Mom, I can't breathe." She dropped down the window, threw her cigarettes out, and that was it. Her mom died of emphysema. But I'm still going to vote no, and I'm going to tell you why I'm going to vote no. It's the same reason that Mr. Ethier had, Mr. Drake had, and Mr. Mendick had. 18 is the age of majority in this state. People at a higher pay grade than we decided that. But when alcohol became a 21 age item, it became illegal for the individual under 21 to drink. There's got to be some personal responsibility here, folks. And why are we letting, if you don't want an 18-year-old to smoke, or a 19-year-old to smoke, or a 20-year-old to smoke, why isn't there an effort to make that illegal at the same level of government that alcohol for 21 became illegal? And then it would be that way for every county, and people wouldn't be running over to Rensselaer County to buy a pack of cigarettes, and 18-year-olds would have to bear the same responsibility and have to make the same life decisions. I don't know if my kids were raised one way or we were just a non-smoking household. There's no smoke in our house, there's no smoke in our cars. When we go to a restaurant, we just got back from Europe. We still ask for the no smoking section of those restaurants. And I was the happiest guy in the world because I think that with no smoking in public places, that crossed a different line. Your tobacco impacted me. And anytime your tobacco impacts me, then I believe we have a responsibility. Now, I understand there are healthcare costs. There are healthcare costs for everything we do. Somebody gets in a car accident, we pay for their insurance. We pay for uninsured people at the hospitals. There's a certain amount of risk we all take. But the bottom line is, as Mr. Mendick said, in this state, 18 years old is the age of majority. And to take rights away from people, 18, 19, and 20, because you don't trust them, I just don't think that's right, and that's why I'll be voting no.
Mr. Bergdorf, I apologize for missing you when I should be acknowledged earlier. Mr. Pollak,
I have a point of order. The time for debate is over.
I missed Mr. Bergdorf, which is why I allowed it. The debate is over now. The roll call will resume.
I would hate to do this with every member of this body.
I wouldn't have done it, Mr. Pollak, unless I didn't miss it. I did miss it.
Chapman. Clay.
I'm opposed. I'm in favor of it.
Yes. Okay. Cunningham.
Yes.
Cunningham.
Yes.
Camissa. Kraus.
Mr. Chairman, please note my abstention on local laws.
Cunningham.
Yes.
Dawson.
No.
Demalowitz.
Yes.
Drake.
No.
Ethier.
No.
Feeny.
Yes.
Fine.
Yes.
Grimm.
No.
Higgins.
Aye.
Hogan.
No.
A. Joyce.
Yes.
R. Joyce.
Yes.
Bukakis.
Yes.
Mackey.
Yes.
Murillo.
No.
Mayo.
Yes.
McKnight.
Yes.
McLean Lane.
Yes.
Mendick.
No.
Miller.
Yes.
O'Brien.
No.
Reinhardt.
Yes.
Signarachi.
No.
Simpson.
Yes.
Smith.
No.
Stevens.
No.
Touche.
Yes.
Tunney.
No.
Ward.
Yes.
Willingham.
Yes.
Okay. 13 noes, 24 yes.
Mr. Cavissel?
There was an abstention.
One abstention. The local law passes.
Before we start the agenda.
Mr. Bowie?
Point of privilege, before we start the agenda, a proclamation went around for postal banking to establish that through Postmaster General. And I'm happy to say that we have 24 signatures on the proclamation, which is the majority of this body. Also, there's a proclamation that's very important that's going around right now to support the CWA strike, and I hope everybody signs on to that. It's really important. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I just have to remind you, you just spoke about being out of order. Mr. Bullock is totally out of order with those two statements you just made. Could you take them out of the minutes if you subscribe?
I demand that this go into the minutes.
You don't demand anything in this legislature.
Well,
Resolution 181, please.
I call for a vote on it.
Resolution 181, please.
Public hearing on proposed local law number E for 2016.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. 182.
Authorizing an agreement for the rental of retail space at the Times Union Center.
All those, I'm sorry.
Johnny Rockets and Handcrafted Food.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Passes. 183.
Authorizing an agreement with the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services regarding the Gun-Involved Violence Elimination Partnership.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Passes. 184.
Authorizing an agreement regarding the Violent Offender Identification Directive and amended the 2016 Probation Department budget.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. 185.
Authorizing an agreement regarding excess workers' compensation insurance.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. 186.
Authorizing a lease agreement with T-Mobile USA Tower regarding a telecommunications tower at the hockey facility.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. 187.
Authorizing an agreement with National Business Equipment regarding the lease maintenance of copiers for various county departments.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. 188.
Authorizing an agreement with Direct Energy Business Marketing regarding the supply of natural gas for various county facilities.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. 189.
Authorizing an agreement with Atlantic Pavement Marking regarding the striping of county highways.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. 190.
Authorizing an agreement with Cobleskill Stone Products regarding the hauling and placing of asphalt on various county roads.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. 191.
Authorizing an agreement with Peckham Materials Corp. regarding the County Route 11 and County Route 151 highway reconstruction projects in the towns of Bern and Colony.
All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Motion passes. 192.
Amending Resolution Number 377 for 2014 regarding an agreement with CNS Engineers Incorporated for design services for the County Route 55 over the Bo-Loman Hill Bridge Rehabilitation Project.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. 193.
Authorizing an agreement with Treatment Alternatives for Safer Communities regarding emergency and transitional shelter services.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. 194.
Authorizing the submission of a grant application regarding a process and technology improvement grant to improve customer service for SNAP and applicant recipients.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. 195.
Authorizing an agreement between the County of Albany and various school districts regarding administrative expenses for the provision of special education services.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. 196.
Authorizing an agreement with Schenectady County regarding evaluation team services.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. 197.
Authorizing service agreements regarding individualized education programs for children ages 3 to 5.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. 198.
Authorizing preschool education service agreements for children with special needs ages 3 to 5.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. 199.
Authorizing an agreement with the New York State Health Department regarding the lead poisoning prevention program.
Mr. Clennahan?
Mr. Chair, can I be as a co-sponsor, please?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. 200, please.
Amending the 2016 Health Department budget, Ebola, Zika, preparedness and response planning.
Add Mr. Clennahan.
Thank you again, Mr. Chair.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. 201.
amending the 2016 Mental Health in Children, Youth, and Family Departmental budget.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. 202.
Amending resolution number 500 for 2015 regarding vocational services for the mentally ill and those with chemical dependencies, amending the 2016 mental health budget.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. 203.
Appointment of a member to the Regional Fish and Wildlife Management Board.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
No.
Roll call, please.
Beston.
Yes.
Bullock. Bergdorf.
Yes.
Chapman. Clay.
Yes.
Clanahan.
Yes.
Camiso.
Yes.
Kraus.
Yes.
Cunningham.
Yes.
Dawson. Demolowitz.
Yes.
Drake.
Yes.
Ethier.
Yes.
Feeney.
Yes.
Fine.
Yes.
Grimm.
Yes.
Higgins.
Yes.
Hogan.
Yes.
A. Joyce.
Yes.
R. Joyce.
Yes.
Lakakis.
Yes.
Lockhart. Mackey.
Yes.
Murillo.
Yes.
Mayo.
Yes.
McKnight.
Yes.
McLean Lane.
Yes.
Mendick.
No.
Miller.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Reinhardt. Signarachi.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Stevens.
No.
Touche.
Yes.
Tunney.
Yes.
Ward.
Yes.
Willingham.
Yes.
Motion passes. 204.
Amending the 2016 Albany County Budget Administrative Adjustments.
All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Motion passes. 205.
Authorizing an agreement with the SUNY Center for Human Services Research regarding a human services evaluation for several county departments.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. 206.
Authorizing the conveyance of 330 Ontario Street, located in the city of Cohoes, to the Cohoes Local Development Corporation.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. 207.
Authorizing the conveyance of 8A Fiddler's Lane, located in the town of Colony.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. 208.
Authorizing the conveyance of 521 Clinton Avenue, located in the city of Albany, to the Albany County Land Bank Corporation.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 209.
Authorizing a refund of real property taxes in the city of Albany.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. 210.
Authorizing a correction on the assessment roll for the city of Albany.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. 211.
Authorizing an agreement with the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services regarding a salary increase for the district attorney and amending the 2016 district attorney's budget.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. 212.
Bond resolution authorizing $1,300,000 for building improvements at the TU Center.
One roll call, please.
Beston.
Yes.
Bullock.
Yes.
Bergdorf.
Yes.
Chapman. Clay.
Yes.
Cunningham.
Yes.
Camiso.
Yes.
Kraus.
Yes.
Cunningham.
Yes.
Dawson.
Yes.
Yes.
Demolowitz. Drake.
Yes.
Ethier.
Yep.
Feeney.
Yes.
Fine.
Yes.
Grimm.
Yes.
Higgins.
Aye.
Hogan.
Yes.
A. Joyce.
Yes.
R. Joyce.
Yes.
Lakakis.
Yes.
Mackey.
Yes.
Murillo.
Yes.
Mayo.
Yes.
McKnight.
Yes.
McLean Lane.
Yes.
Mendick.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Reinhardt. Signarachi.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Stevens?
Yes.
Touche?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Ward?
Yes.
Willingham?
Resolution passes 213.
Bond resolution authorizing $625,000 for improvements to various county facilities.
Roll call, please.
Beston?
Yes.
Bullock?
Yes.
Bergdorf?
Yes.
Chapman? Clay?
Yes.
Clunihan?
Yes.
Camiso? Kraus?
Yes.
Conahan?
Yes.
Dawson? Demolowitz? Drake?
Yes.
Ether?
Yes.
Feeney?
Yes.
Fine?
Yes.
Graham?
Yes.
Higgins?
Aye.
Hogan?
Yes.
A. Joyce?
Yes.
R. Joyce?
Yes.
Lakakis?
Yes.
Mackey?
Yes.
Murillo?
Yes.
Mayo?
Yes.
McKnight?
Yes.
McLean Lane?
Yes.
Mendick?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
Reinhardt? Signarachi?
Yes.
Simpson?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Stevens?
Yes.
Touche?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Ward?
Yes.
Willingham?
Motion passes 214.
Authorizing an agreement for the use of a radio tower on Goodfellow Road in the town of Westerlo to enhance the countywide interoperable radio system.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes 215.
Authorizing an agreement for the use of a radio tower on Route 32 in the town of Westerlo to enhance the countywide interoperable radio system.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 216.
Authorizing the submission of grant applications and agreements with the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services regarding the Alternatives to Incarceration and Defender-Based Advocacy Program.
I'd like to add Ms. Willingham to that. All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Motion passes 217, please.
Authorizing an agreement with the New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services regarding the State Homeland Security Program, State Law Enforcement Terrorism Prevention Program, amending the 2016 Department of General Services budget.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Pollak, I'm sorry.
I'd like to speak against this motion. This agreement for enforcement of terrorism prevention, I don't believe that it's proper for this body to endorse something like this. It's a federal issue, and I'm opposed to it. So,
As for a long roll call, please.
and I want my name off the bill, please.
Beston?
Yes.
Bullock?
No.
Bergdorf?
Yes.
Chapman? Clay?
Yes.
Clunihan?
Yes.
Camiso?
Yes.
Kraus?
Yes.
Conahan?
Yes.
Dawson?
Yes.
Demolowitz?
Yes.
Drake?
Yes.
Ethier?
Yes.
Feeney?
Yes.
Fine? Graham?
Yes.
Higgins? Hogan?
Yes.
A. Joyce?
Abstain.
R. Joyce?
Yes.
Lakakis?
Yes.
Lockhart? Mackey?
Yes.
Murillo?
Yes.
Mayo?
Yes.
McKnight?
Yes.
McLean Lane?
Yes.
Mendick?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
Reinhardt? Signarachi?
Yes.
Simpson?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Stevens?
Yes.
Touche?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Ward?
Yes.
Willingham?
Motion passes 218.
Appointing a member to the Albany County Ethics Commission.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes 219.
Appointment of members to the Agricultural and Farmland Protection Board.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes 220.
Requiring all boards and commissions that are appointed by the legislator distribute meeting notices and agendas to the legislature.
Could you refer that to the law committee, please? $221.
Authorizing the use of the county-owned parking lot at 208 Washington Avenue, Albany, New York, during certain hours by local businesses that are located within the Lark Street Business Improvement District corridor and pay taxes toward funding said not-for-profit.
Would you refer that to the Audit and Finance Committee, please? 222.
Amending the 2016 Sheriff's Department budget.
I'd like to, I believe the Audit and Finance Committee is also.
Yes,
Who sent
Mr.
this
Chairman,
out?
came out unanimous.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Added as sponsor. Ms. Williams. Mr. Higgins. Fine. Why don't, those that are interested in being a sponsor, is anybody not interested in being a sponsor? Anybody not interested? Did I do the notes yet? Any notes? None. Right. Only those that are here. Motion passes. Thank you. Local law D.
Local law number D for 2016, a local law to establish a sustainable energy loan program in the county of Albany.
Mr. Cunningham.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. With this local law, Albany County will join Energize New York, which is New York State's property assessed clean energy or PACE program. This is funded entirely by NYSERDA and the U.S. Department of Energy. The program will provide low-cost financing to existing Albany County commercially owned properties for renewable and efficiency clean energy projects. This is going to finance clean energy projects like solar electric, solar thermal, efficient lighting, insulation, efficient heating and cooling, and many others. So with this program, we will be encouraging any number of renewable energy and efficiency projects. So there will be a great environmental benefit from this. This will also help economic development by lowering businesses' energy costs and increasing their efficiencies. And it will also help workforce development by creating demand for skilled workers on these types of projects. Hopefully there will be many projects. So this really is a program with great potential for our county. And I want to thank the other sponsors of this, Mr. Bullock, Mr. Ward, Mr. Camisso, Mr. Higgins, and Mr. Reinhardt. I want to especially thank the folks at Energize New York and Solar City for all their amazing work on this issue and all their education on this issue and the particulars of this program for us. So I am in support, and I would ask my colleagues for their support also.
Thank you, Mr. Cunningham. Mr. Drake.
Mr. Chairman, would you add me in support of this law?
Yes, sir. Mr. Bergdorf. And Mr. O'Brien, Mr. Beston.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Grimm, Mr. Kraus. Anybody not want to be on it that's here? Nobody? Mr. Bergdorf, do you want to speak on the issue?
No, I just want to be added.
You're at. Those that, anybody that does not want to be on. Okay. You're interested in being on it. We'll have a long roll call, please.
Beston. Bullock. Bergdorf.
Aye.
Chapman. Clay. Cunningham.
Yes.
Camisso. Kraus.
Yes.
Cunningham. Dawson. Demalowitz.
Yes.
Drake.
Yes.
Ethier.
Yes.
Feeny.
Yes.
Fine. Grimm.
Yes.
Higgins.
Aye.
Hogan.
Yes.
A. Joyce.
Yes.
R. Joyce.
Yes.
Dukakis.
Yes.
Mackey.
Yes.
Murillo.
Yes.
Mayo. McKnight.
Yes.
McLean Lane.
Yes.
Mendick.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Reinhardt. Signoracci.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Stevens.
Yes.
Touche.
Yes.
Tunney.
Yes.
Ward.
Yes.
Willingham.
Motion passes. Mr. Camisso.
Yes. I'd like to make a motion pursuant to Rule 11, to introduce a resolution.
Second.
We have a motion to introduce Rule 11, resolution number 223. I believe that is on everyone's desk. We have a second by Mr. Higgins. All those in favor of the introduction of Rule 11?
Aye.
Those opposed? That motion passes. All those in favor of Do we have any speakers on 223? All those in favor of 223? Aye. Those opposed?
No.
Roll call, please.
Festin.
Yes.
Bullock. Bergdorf.
Yes.
Chapman. Clay.
Yes.
Cunningham.
Yes.
Camiso.
Yes.
Kraus.
Yes.
Cunningham. Dawson.
Yes.
Demolowitz.
Yes.
Drake. Ethier. Feeny.
Yes.
Fine. Graham.
No.
Higgins.
Aye.
Hogan.
Yes.
A. Joyce.
Yes.
R. Joyce.
Yes.
Dukakis. Yes. Lockhart. Mackey.
Yes.
Murillo.
Yes.
Mayo. McKnight.
Yes.
McLean Lane.
Yes.
Mendick.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Signarachi.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Stevens.
Yes.
Touche.
Yes.
Tunney.
Yes.
Ward.
Yes.
Willingham.
Motion passes.
Motion adjourned.
Second? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion